I'll just say I love George Litto. I need to start with that.
In 1969, LA Times magazine stated that the 3 most successful agents in Hollywood were the infamous Irving Swifty Lazar, the equally famous Paul Kohner, both in their 60s, and George Litto, 38 years old and representing blacklisted writers.
He was like a Sicilian bulldog. There was just a power or a force to him that was just undeniable.
I really found him very charming, extremely intelligent, deeply passionate about his work, a devoted father and husband, and don't fuck with him. I'll just say that.
George Litto had an extraordinary career in Hollywood as a literary agent, a talent agent, a producer, a filmmaker.
He was fiercely loyal. I think he saw himself as a champion of the little guy and a defender of the oppressed.
The people he represented, Dalton Trumbo, Michael Wilson, Joseph Losey, Waldo Salt.
They were all pure writers. What they loved was writing.
And all of them were highly successful in making a lot of money in the 40s and into the 50s, and now they had to work for peanuts under these pseudonyms or fronts.
The original drive behind it was an anti-union drive. The screenwriters were about to form what they called the Screenwriters Guild.
Go fuck yourself. We'll decide who writes the scripts, not you.
So the studios reacted by blacklisting them and ultimately sending them to prison.
You were faced with this terrible crisis of conscience. Either you sacrificed your career or you named names and you sold out the people who you cared about.
2 or 3 times, the FBI came by to interview me, and they said, you know, we want to know more about your business. Is there any money behind you? I said, no. They said, well, why are you representing all these communist writers? I said, they're great writers. I like their work, and I like them. Are you a communist? I said, no, I'm a capitalist.
And he'd say, you know, I don't give a shit what they write. When I sell it, I get 10%.
They had something unique, and they had something to offer, and the world should hear it.
It took a hero to free them, and there weren't too many heroes like George Litto. He was one of a kind.
I mean, at the end of the day, what George did was act as a defender of what democracy is all about.
Back then, they were fighting against anti-Semitism, racism, sexism, against white nationals, just as we are today. And that hasn't changed.
When the clock strikes high noon for all of us, what would we do in this situation? I think George gives us a real shining example of what you have to do.
He said, we're going to do this shit again.